Tonight, World Health Organization solicits support for science to improve health outcomes worldwide. Delta State government announces 200,000 naira monthly tax-free allowance for doctors. Federal government set to acquire air ambulance helicopters for medical emergencies. And abroad, United States President threatens to destroy Iran's entire civilization. Very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us on the Delta Television Main News. You can also follow our news online on Facebook and YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or you can visit our website at www.dbsasaba.com. The World Health Organization, WHO, has called for global collaboration and support for science to improve health outcomes worldwide. The appeal was made to mark World Health Day 2026, themed Together for Health, Stand with Science. The organization said scientific progress and cooperation had significantly reduced maternal and child mortality over the years, making many deadly diseases more manageable and improving life expectancy globally. It noted that advances in research, technology, and partnerships across countries had played a key role in these achievements. However, it warned of emerging health threats, including climate change, environmental challenges, and new diseases, urging countries to work together to strengthen health systems and protect future generations. Meanwhile, the state government, in a strategic move to improve service delivery in public hospitals, has announced a 200,000 naira monthly tax-free allowance for doctors as part of efforts to strengthen the health sector and address workforce shortages. Commissioner for Health, Dr. Joseph Onojaime, who made the announcement in Asaba, said the measure, approved by Governor Sheriff Oboriwori, was aimed at attracting and retaining medical professionals amid rising cases of migration of health workers, commonly referred to as the Jakpa syndrome. Ejime Udweme reports.
According to him, a doctor on level 13 as the entry point into the service, who currently earns about 350,000 naira monthly, will now earn approximately 570,000 naira, while house officers will receive additional 100,000 naira tax-free allowance, increasing their earnings from over 250,000 naira to above 350,000 naira monthly. He noted that the decision was informed by recent recruitment trends where in the first week of advertising for vacancies, the Ministry of Health received more than 6,000 applications, but the number of doctors who applied was abysmally low.
A doctor at level 13, which is the entry point of employment, who is earning 370,000 monthly, was from the end of this month be earning 570,000. For the doctors that are doing 1 year internship, the house officers, the governor in his good wisdom also approved the sum of 100,000 naira tax-free. That means a house officer who is earning over 250,000 will now be earning over 350,000.
He further disclosed that the new remuneration package, described as a medical special allowance for doctors, places Delta State among the most competitive in terms of doctors' welfare nationwide. On the recruitment process, Dr. Onojame assured that it will be strictly merit-based and warned prospective applicants against paying money to individuals for employment, stressing that the process is transparent and free of charge.
They are going to do a CBT test, computer-based test, and we are going to select the best, because this is health. You need the best hand to man the health sector so that we can get the best outcome. So we rely strictly on merit to take all the various categories, especially the medical category.
The commissioner encouraged residents of the state to embrace preventive health care by utilizing wellness clinics for routine medical checkups. He said the state will not only retain its healthcare workforce, but also attract new professionals to meet the growing demands of an expanding health sector. Ejime Uduime reporting.
The Director General of the Delta State Contributory Health Commission, Dr. Isaac Akpaveta, has commended the state government for ongoing reforms aimed at improving healthcare delivery across Delta State. He gave the commendation during the first quarter 2026 stakeholders meeting held in Asaba. Henry Unogwa reports.
Dr. Akpaveta said the quarterly forum provided an avenue to review operations, assess performance, and develop strategies to strengthen service delivery across Delta North, Delta Central, and Delta South. He noted that the meeting brought together key health personnel to ensure coordinated and efficient service delivery, explaining that Delta North session included medical directors and chief medical officers of government hospitals, while subsequent meetings would involve other health workers.
One of the major points that they were happy about is that His Excellency the Governor have released money to pay their backlog of the treatment they've given to pregnant women under 5. And we've also shown to them how much we are owing each and every one of them, when are we owing the money, and then the plan to pay, and how we're going to pay it. And they were very happy about it. A government has said that child from birth to 5 years, the critical age, the danger period of a child should be free, and also subsidize a premium, just 7,000 to register your name down, 7,000 for all other persons, and also pay on behalf of the civil servants. For every couple of civil servants pay for insurance, government pay a counterpart of it, and it's constant and regular. That is a good government.
The contributory health DG stressed that effective healthcare requires the collective efforts of all personnel within the system, warning against illegal charges, delays in treatments, and improper care, as offenders would face sanctions. He also disclosed that the state government had released funds to clear arrears for service rendered to pregnant women and children under 5, alongside the introduction of a facial encounter system and development of service quality monitors in over 300 facilities, among other interventions. A key focus of the meeting was the review of a policy introduced in January 2025, which has been in operation for over a year.
Symposium conference was worth its salt, as the Director General, Olorogun Akpaveta, dealt with so many issues of concern, appropriately giving correction, giving hope, giving promises under the mandate of His Excellency, Governor Sheriff Oborowori.
Even when it comes to capturing and all that, but I'm happy all these issues were addressed, even to finances, funding and all that. I'm happy every issue was explained, every issue was addressed, and we're all going home happy, because we know that when we get back to our hospitals, we are going to implement all that was discussed today.
Henry Onogwa reporting.
The National Association of Resident Doctors has suspended its planned strike after reaching an understanding with the federal government. The association said the decision followed progress in negotiations, including commitments on the payment of salary arrears and hazard allowances. Although the dispute has not been fully resolved, the doctors say they are giving dialogue another chance. The federal government has commenced negotiations with Airbus to acquire air ambulance helicopters for the proposed National Medical Emergency Management System aimed at strengthening emergency healthcare delivery across the country. The coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohamed Pati, disclosed this during a visit to France following approval by President Bola Tinubu. Professor Pati said discussions with Airbus focused on developing an integrated ground-to-air emergency response system to improve coordination between ambulance services, communication networks, and aeromedical evacuation. He noted that the initiative would enhance rapid response to medical emergencies nationwide, adding that the system is expected to improve medical evacuation services, particularly in remote and underserved areas, while reducing delays in critical care and helping to lower preventable deaths. The state governor, Right Honorable Sheriff Oboriwori, has called on the Anioma nation to see their culture not merely as a symbol of identity, but as a strategic instrument for development and nation building. Governor Sheriff Oboriwori made a call at the celebration of the 20th edition of the Anioma Cultural Festival, organized by the Organization for the Advancement of Anioma Culture, OFAC, held at St. Patrick's College, Asaba, with the theme, Culture, a Tool for Development. Pere Botu has details.
The governor, represented by the deputy governor, Sir Monday Oyeme, said the cultural festival is a tool to inspire renewed commitment to unity, peace, and shared prosperity. He urged youths to take pride in their cultural heritage in order to deepen their understanding and deploy it for innovation and excellence. Governor Oboriwori noted that modernity does not diminish culture, but provides an avenue for its expression, stressing that a lost culture amounted to a lost future. The governor commended OFAC for its unwavering commitment to safeguarding and protecting the rich cultural heritage of the Anioma people, noting that OFAC had emerged as a formidable institution in documenting Anioma history and preserving its identity.
In Anioma land, our heritage expressed through the elegance of our culture, the spectacles of our masquerades, the depths of our proverbs, the rhythms of our music, and the dignities of our traditional institutions constitute a vital resource for economic growth. Properly harnessed, these cultural assets can drive tourism, it can stimulate creativity, and unlock entrepreneurial opportunities.
While acknowledging the president of the Organization for the Advancement of Anioma Culture, Mr. Kester Ifeadi, an architect whose vision, passion, and steadfast leadership had ensured the continuity and growth of the cultural movement, Governor Oboriwori lauded royal fathers and the traditional institution for its role as custodians of custom and values. Governor Oboriwori affirmed his administration's commitment on leveraging culture as a catalyst for development in line with his more agenda, adding that he was promoting initiatives that preserve cultural heritage into tangible economic values, particularly for youths and women. In an interview, former Governor Ifeanyi Okowa lauded OFAC for promoting the rich cultural identity of the Anioma people over the years, saying their efforts had helped to shape history.
I think that there is a need through the kind of thing that is going on today. If we're able to bring our children yearly to witness this, you're building them up. And I think that every community should continue to look towards this. And beyond that, every ethnic nationality should begin to look towards organizing such festivals on a yearly basis.
President of OFAC, Mr. Kester Ifeadi, said the Anioma Cultural Festival showed unity, purpose, and a cultural rallying point for the people. He said the Anioma nation does not have an identity crisis, having existed for thousands of years, adding that they are a unique people with the same cultural beliefs and heritage. Mr. Ifeadi disclosed that a 40-man committee had been set up towards actualizing its Anioma Heritage Project, which would be a center of cultural excellence.
We're trying to bring unity. We're trying to bring oneness to our place. You can see we don't want youth restiveness. We want everybody to be peaceful, appreciate your culture.
The event, which was attended by former Governor Ifeanyi Okowa, the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, the Right Honorable Emomotimi Guwo, federal and state lawmakers, local government council chairmen from Delta North, traditional rulers and stakeholders, featured cultural dances, masquerade displays, flute competition, wrestling competition, and performances by some cultural groups. I am Pere Botu reporting.
The federal government has clarified that Nigeria's visa on arrival policy has not been scrapped but upgraded to improve efficiency and ease of access for travelers. Minister of Interior Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo made this known after a meeting with officials of the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, PPEC, in Abuja, dismissing an earlier report suggesting the cancellation of the policy. Dr. Tunji-Ojo explained that under the enhanced system, travelers will still be able to apply online for short-stay visas, with approvals granted within 24 to 48 hours. He noted that approved visas would now be sent electronically to applicants, eliminating the need for physical stickers on arrival and ensuring a more streamlined and controlled entry process. The minister added that the reform formed part of broader efforts by the federal government to improve Nigeria's business environment and attract foreign investment. Director General of PPEC, Princess Zara Audu, said the meeting was convened to address public concerns and reaffirmed government's commitment to maintaining and enhancing the visa on arrival policy. The federal government has suspended the issuance of new policies across ministries, departments, and agencies. The directive, according to the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, is to allow for the full implementation of the Regulatory Impact Analysis Framework. The move is aimed at improving policy coordination and preventing disruptions to businesses and investors. The National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, has announced that supplementary online registration for newly uploaded prospective corps members would hold from April 9 to April 11. The scheme said the exercise was specifically for candidates whose details had recently been uploaded to its portal but were yet to complete their registration. The NYSC, in a statement, advised affected candidates to prepare all necessary documents and personal information ahead of the exercise to ensure a smooth process, stressing that registration will be conducted strictly online through its official portal, and urged applicants to carefully follow all instructions provided. The scheme further emphasized that adherence to the registration timeline was crucial, warning that failure to comply could lead to disqualification, noting that the supplementary registration was part of efforts to streamline its processes, maintain accurate records, and ensure a seamless mobilization of corps members for the upcoming orientation exercise. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has warned accredited computer-based test centers to ensure their surveillance systems are fully visible to a central monitoring system. The board said any center that could not be monitored in real time risks having its registration or examination activities invalidated. In a statement by its public communication advisor, Mr. Fabian Benjamin, JAMB disclosed that over 150 centers were not visible during the recent registration exercise and were denied payment, adding that affected centers had been directed to fix technical issues or face sanctions, including delisting. The board emphasized that the directive was part of efforts to promote transparency and prevent examination malpractice nationwide. It warned that Only centers that complied with monitoring requirements will be paid, reaffirming its commitment to maintaining the integrity of its examinations. The Ambrose Modupe Foundation has concluded a major humanitarian outreach in Ishiago community and Niger South local government area of Delta State. The one-day free medical outreach attracted a large turnout of residents, particularly the elderly, who received services including eye examinations, malaria testing, blood pressure and blood sugar checks, as well as treatment for common ailments. Eunice Emeazia reports.
The program also featured a health talk on eye care alongside counseling services, distribution of medications and provision of eyeglasses. Medical volunteers attended to hundreds of beneficiaries, many of whom had little or no prior access to basic health care. Some beneficiaries expressed appreciation to the foundation, describing the intervention as timely amid rising healthcare costs and limited access to medical services in rural areas.
They bring foods, they bring doctors that will take care of people that are sick. They give us important drugs. So this family, they are so wonderful.
Everybody is happy because of what is happening. For reading now, I can say everything bogus.
Since the death of their father, they have been organizing such things for us. So the community is very happy, and we have to appreciate you people.
Speaking at the event, chairman of the foundation and Azama of Ishiago Kingdom, Chief Austin Modibe, reaffirmed the organization's commitment to improving lives at the grassroots. He said the outreach aligns with the foundation's mission of lifting and impacting lives, particularly in underserved communities.
When we commemorated the 30th anniversary of his death, we decided to put this together to see how best we can keep his legacy on, see how we can impact people of the community. It's not something that we'll be able to do alone. If we keep doing it alone, our reach could be limited. But to go further to those places we want to reach out to, we will need the support of people.
Family members of the late Ambrose Modibe noted that the foundation, established 5 years ago by his 7 children, has been solely funded by the family. They added that its interventions include medical outreaches, borehole projects, skill acquisition programs, and support for orphanages and hospitals.
My father was a good man, a philanthropist in his own little ways. He wasn't very wealthy, but he loved to share and he cared a lot for people. He worked in the hospital. He was one of the medical staff in the hospital, and he used that medium as well to reach out to people and to assist. So that actually gave rise to what we're having today.
The funding is being done by myself and my siblings. So God has been on our side. When we set up this foundation, we are not limiting it to Ishiago alone. There are communities around us, neighboring communities around us, so we want to make it go across the various communities in Aniocha South and in Delta State.
And we also need the support of everyone, every sons and daughters of Ishiago community and even outside Ishiago, to help us to support the foundation to make it to move forward, that it will grow more than as it is now.
A fundraising and donor appeal held during the event attracted commendation from community leaders and stakeholders who praised the Modibe family for sustaining their father's legacy of service to humanity.
It's not in the volume, it's just your heart to support any good cause. So the family has chosen a good cause, and with the economy of Nigeria, no one man can do everything. So we all need each other.
I'm impressed. I quite appreciate the fact that they know that they needed hands that will work with them and strategize what they're doing.
The outreach, now in its 5th edition, was held in honor of the late Pa Ambrose Modibe and his wife Catherine. Eunice Emeazia reporting.
In Plateau State, tension rose in Angwan Rukuber, just north local government area, as women protested against the planned mass burial of victims of a recent attack. The women blocked the entrance of a church, demanding release of 3 youths allegedly arrested in connection with the incident. The protest was later calmed by community leaders. The development follows the killing of over 28 persons by suspected gunmen on Palm Sunday. President Bola Tinubu had earlier visited the state and directed security agencies to apprehend those responsible. Still to come on the Delta Television main news, United States President threatens to destroy Iran's entire civilization. Details of this and more shortly. Stay with us.
We have a governor who is managing the resources of the state very, very prudently. When we say that governance will not cease because we are in what you may call pre-election year, you could see that the governor is walking the talk. He's looking ahead by delivering projects that touches the life of the people. We are doing this supervision and tour of these projects because the governor has made it clear that if you fall short of the provisions in the Bill of Engineering Measurement and Evaluation, we will blacklist you. And we are seeing much more quality work coming in. We're also seeing greater speed.
Thank you for staying on. If you're just joining us, you are watching the Delta Television main news. United States President Donald Trump has issued a strong warning to Iran, saying its entire civilization could be destroyed if it fails to reach a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump, however, added that a diplomatic breakthrough could still occur before his 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time deadline today. Meanwhile, the United States has reportedly carried out fresh strikes on military targets on Kurg Island, a key Iranian oil export terminal. Iranian state media also reports that at least 2 people were killed in a strike on a bridge in Kashan. This comes as Israel says Iran has launched additional missiles, with several Gulf countries reporting overnight attacks. Still on the foreign scene, United States Vice President J.D. Vance is in Budapest in support of Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban ahead of Sunday's parliamentary elections. Vance is expected to address a joint press conference and later attend a campaign rally with the Hungarian leader. The election is seen as Orban's toughest political test in nearly 4 decades. He faces strong opposition from Peter Magyar, whose party currently leads in most opinion polls. The core members of the OPEC have raised concerns over attacks on energy infrastructure in the Middle East, warning that repairing damaged assets will be costly and time-consuming. They also stressed the importance of safeguarding key maritime routes such as the Straits of Hormuz, which is vital for global oil trade. The group, including major producers like Saudi Arabia, Russia, Iraq, and others, announced plans to slightly increase oil output in May. However, analysts say the move may have limited impact due to disruptions in supply chains and ongoing geopolitical tensions. Global oil prices remain uncertain as supply constraints persist, with significant production declines reported by the International Energy Agency. U.S. President Donald Trump had urged countries facing shortages to consider sourcing oil from the United States. And back home, the national president of the Hygienic Water Producers Association of Nigeria, HWAPAN, Mr. Odiri Igbere, has called, or rather has said, the price of packaged water, including sachet and table water, has increased in several parts of Nigeria. He noted that a bag of sachet water, commonly called pure water, which previously sold for about 400 naira in cities such as Lagos, Kano, and Kwara, now sells for around 500 naira depending on location, attributing the rise to increased production costs, especially the cost of water nylon. He explains that the price of materials and finished products has also risen across states, with a kilogram of water nylon increasing significantly and bottled water seeing adjustments in places like Delta State and Rivers State. Market checks also showed varying prices, with sachet water selling between 500 naira and 600 naira in parts of Lagos, while some areas in Ogun State recorded lower prices around 350 naira. He added that the price variations differ by state and producer, as operators determine pricing based on their cost of production. Residents in areas such as Ibadan in Oyo State expressed concerns over the increases, noting reduced consumption and tighter budgeting, while producers indicated that further adjustments may occur as economic pressures continue to affect the sector. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, has expanded its surveillance to cover electrical products, cables, and building materials in a bid to curb the circulation of unsafe goods and reduce risk associated with structural failures. Speaking for the Executive Vice Chairman, Mr. Tunji Bello, Director of Surveillance and Investigations, Mrs. Bola Dale Adeyenka, said the Commission continued to encounter products that failed to meet safety standards, noting that efforts were ongoing with relevant regulators to close gaps that allowed such products into the markets. She stressed that manufacturers were legally required to recall defective products, withdraw them from circulation, and notify consumers, warning that non-compliance would attract sanctions, while also urging the public to report suspicious goods to help safeguard lives and ensure a safer marketplace. The chairman, Conference of Speakers of State Legislatures in Nigeria and Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Emomotimigo, has expressed deep sadness over the passing of the Speaker of the Kebbi State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Usman Mohammed Ankwai, after a brief illness. In a statement by his Chief Press Secretary, Nkenweke, Right Honorable Gore describes the development as heartbreaking and painful, noting that it is not only a great loss to the people of Kebbi State, but also to the entire legislative community in Nigeria. He added that the late Ankwai's dedication to the progress of Kebbi State and his invaluable contributions to Conference of Speakers will be sorely missed. Describing the late Ankwai as a brother and friend, the Speaker prayed God to grant his family the people of Kebbi State and all who mourn him the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss. And that's our news. Here is a thought for the day. You are confined only by the walls you build yourself. And now to end the Delta Television main news, here are the highlights. The World Health Organization, WHO, has called for global collaboration and support for science to improve health outcomes worldwide. The state government, in a strategic move to improve service delivery in public hospitals, has announced a 200,000 naira monthly tax-free allowance for doctors as part of efforts to strengthen the health sector and address workforce shortages. Commissioner for Health, Dr. Joseph Onojaime, who made the announcement in Asaba, said the measure, approved by Governor Sheriff Oburiwori, was aimed at attracting and retaining medical professionals amid rising cases of migration of health workers, commonly referred to as the Japa syndrome. The federal government has commenced negotiations with Airbus to acquire air ambulance helicopters for a proposed national medical emergency management system aimed at strengthening emergency healthcare delivery across the country. And from abroad, we did report that the United States President Donald Trump has issued a strong warning to Iran, saying its entire civilization could be destroyed if it fails to reach a deal to reopen the Straits of Hormuz. You can also follow our news online on Facebook at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba and also on YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba. You can visit our website at www.dbsasaba.com. Thank you so much for watching. On behalf of the entire news crew, Joy Ochei is my name. Good night.